between these two players to see who goes on to face off against Mario. In the bottom right, in the green, he is
KT roster first.
in the bottom left, in the blue, our Terran underdog.
Starter Heck.
He was actually, just to go on the hack conversation that we were talking about, hacking and in games in general. I remember, I want to say I was maybe 16 or something. My brother and I downloaded a hack. We wanted to see what it actually looked like to play with.
Yeah.
With one on and like look at it and like say, okay, like what is this thing all about?
What was it?
Oh, it was weird, man. They had in the hack they had beacons. I know that not everybody here played StarCraft 1, but they had beacons that would come out so you could see where the lurker spines were shooting from.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of really crazy.
That's high end.
Yeah. And to go and give a little bit of history here, guys. So, you know, there was always an issue with how to prove that someone was hacking in a StarCraft 1 game, right? And there was people were making a lot of third-party software to analyze games. This is where APM came from. APM was not always – we didn't know what somebody's APM was. It wasn't until people made third-party programs to actually check in Brood War what the APM was. But somebody figured out that if you're hacking in a game, but when I say hacking, I'm talking map hacking. You can actually see the entire map. You can actually, it turns out in a hacked game, the odds are like 99% that you will click on a unit that you couldn't see.
Yeah.
That's what
how
happens.
we caught a lot of hackers.
And so eventually they started doing these replay analyses, and it would check all the commands, and it could check to see, okay, was a unit selected that it was not in his vision? And it was weird because I thought at the time, I was like, no, that can't be right. Would there be a way to avoid that? It turns out it's really difficult. If you've been hacking for a long time.
Eventually they made hacks that wouldn't allow you to click on things.
Yeah, I remember that was the next stage. In
there was all sorts of stages, but actually in StarCraft 1 we had a savior for a bit there that was, I believe his ID was Flag on Team Liquid, and he was like a master at figuring things out and within replay files. And he kept finding different ways that new hacks affected replay files differently. So, like, every few months, he'd release a list of all the like top end players that were hacked.
And it's crazy because you got to think these are guys who've been playing competitively for like longer than even StarCraft 2's been out now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, damn, you got busted, man.
Yep. Well,
let's go on to this game.
Yeah, we have, luckily that doesn't happen so much anymore, I don't think. I don't think there's that many hackers or hacks in StarCraft 2.
I don't believe it's as prevalent.
I've definitely, I know there's been some and stuff. But,
I remember actually, way back when, I remember when people were making rigged maps. This was the big thing, and someone's like, okay, I'll make the map. And, you know, the format was a little bit different back at Brood War, but someone would make a map, and I'd be like, what the hell? He's like pushing me so hard. And then eventually I'd go back at the replay and be like, oh my God, his tanks are like 15% less.
Yeah. Well, luckily nowadays we have a very nice, secure, competitive environment.
That's actually what's so sick about StarCraft 2 is that you can get matches really easily, and there's at least all put together on one, you know, server. So it's harder for people to actually ruin the game for everybody. Looks like, oh my God, you're kidding me! I didn't. Wow,
that's awesome.
That's
so
annoying, man.
Really well done there by First. By the way, I like that we're seeing macro openings. It's a Reaper expand versus a fast expansion into Robo. Really cool. Well, right now, I mean, there's, I guess, the edge you would give to our Protoss player for delaying that command center.
It's going to be a little bit for this game to develop.
Yeah,
I mean, they're both going for macro games.
Looks like it so far here. Reaper trying to poke in. Does see a Stalker there. Observers on the way. 3 racks play here for a hack. Cool to see. We've seen like so much tech right after expand from everyone, so kind of refreshing to see some 3 barracks into tech play. So far for First, this is like pretty much as standard as you can get. He's skimping a little bit on the observers. That makes me wonder what the reasoning might be for that. Normally you like to get more than just an observer out.
Well, especially on a big map like this, the more observers, the merrier.
Yeah.
He's getting a warp prism now.
Okay. That's kind of interesting.
Let's see what he's up to with that. That That's definitely something. We'll see what he wants to do with that.
That's, I believe what we're going to see here is a Colossus drop into a Colossus all-in. I do believe. Because if you look at the... like, I don't actually know this map well yet. But if you look at the shape of it, I think that he can do, like, a Colossus drop maybe at the natural or something. And then just follow it up with an all-in. And he's actually getting Prism speed right away. I really like that. That's cool.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's see how this goes. This is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, with the Prism speed, he will not lose the Colossus or the Prism.
The Warp Prism, yeah.
Yeah, if you lose a Prism that you're doing a Colossus drop with, you're going to lose that game.
We don't see this upgrade used as much, but...
it's a great one.
You know, to be guaranteed that the Warp Prism will stay alive as long as you're just on top of your stuff.
100 gas, 100 minerals is a pretty good
It's usually
going
to pay for itself. When you think of how many games you've seen where Warp Prism is gunned down.
Yeah.
Now, conversely, if he loses the Warp Prism anyways, that's really bad because he invested in this thing that was supposed to make it an impossibility to lose that. So I guess he actually wants to fly in with the Warp Prism, and that's going to come in there as the gateways are done. He picks up the Colossus, and he'll probably warp in a bunch of Zealots. And maybe a sentry, maybe block a ramp. I don't know. Man, that water looks dirty down there.
That's not drinking water.
That is definitely not drinking water.
It doesn't look like this is actually an all-in, which is kind of neat.
No,
normally you see Colossus drops being an all-in, but maybe he's like, this is a viable harassment option.
Whoa, we got to go fast here.
Well, look at this. This is already very effective.
Now, is he not going to?
He has to go home.
I thought he was going to warp in there for a second. I guess
his gates
he
just
doesn't
aren't
know.
Finished.
Okay, good call. Yeah. Definitely can't do it then. I'm surprised he showed it then.
Well, I think he needs to keep the army back. Like, the army actually just was forced back. Like, the Prism, if you can just force the army to walk all the way back, it's already done its job. You don't even need to kill anything.
Well, he's coming forward, and as you can see, that speed makes it...
Yeah,
it's pretty comfortable for Protoss to poke in and get back out.
Even Vikings can't do anything against it. And, this is really cool. Oh my god, Tasteless. He's actually going into, like, Immortals, plus he'll go into Psystorm here, it looks like. Which is, like, remember the old one Colossus into Storm kind of fake-out builds?
Yeah.
Well, this is like that, but he's, like, really selling the fake, because he's even got Warp Prism speed. So that's... You know how much that Warp Prism speed costs? Like, well, only 100, but, I mean, he's not doing that much with the Colossus tech, just the single Colossus, the Warp Prism speed. I like this. This is really cool. This is very fresh.
Let's see if it catches Hack off guard. First, definitely using a strategy we don't normally see here. With a tech switch that's pretty dramatic. I mean, there's one Colossus, and then a bunch of Immortal Zealot, Psystorm, and Archon, obviously.
Yeah.
This could just completely blindside Hack.
If you make a bunch of Vikings against this, it's like a free win for Protoss. Look, he's adding a thing at Starport, which tells us he wants to make a lot of Vikings. He has no idea about what this is yet.
Okay, well, he's going to push up over here.
This is really cool.
And,
I like how he even has like a sellable amount of...
Now, at the same time, he can do this, too, and this is really cool as well. Is he going to do a warp in as well, or is that going to be overkill? Looks like he's afraid of what might happen back at home. He activates a Nexus Cannon. The attack's coming forward. Storm is just barely not done. Oh, man, he does not want to lose that Colossus. You know what? He should have warped in more back there. I think he's going to hold this attack. No problem. Oh, my God. Don't lose Storm.
I like the way he's handling this. Yeah, he lost the Colossus. That kind of sucks, but, you know, he's got the... Psystorm now for splash damage. So that Zealot drop did a lot of damage there. He's repelled this attack, losing very little. Really like it.
You know what's funny is, I guess, that Warp Prism got away, no problem. There's not much back home because the Zealots are picking off one by one the Marines as they spawn out. It seems like First actually wants to go up for a counterattack here.
Finds an Archon. That has to be scary.
Yeah. Well, that Warp Prism can go back into the main here, and there's not much that, Hack can do about it. In fact, he's going to have to evacuate the space now. Keep in mind, he's actually, oh my God, he cannot afford to lose that. He's doing a really, really good job here of keeping Hack busy. Hack's getting punished all over the place, and he's taking a third base.
Yeah, he's defending against everything at home as well. So
I got to say, I love the strat here from first. It's really unique, and it's working out really well.
It truly is. This is what a clever strategy. I really like it. Speed Warp Prism, like, anytime that you can squeeze that in the first 10 minutes of the game, it's a cool game, if you ask me.
Well, it's nice to see a really out-of-the-ordinary build here. It's technical and segues well into proper late game.
Yeah. Well, right now, Hack looks like he's buttoned up pretty tight from here. Should be feeling a lot better now. He's kind of defended everything. Gonna try to push forward, but without any ghosts here, he can't do anything against the Storm. The Storm has its own free reign.
He has to hope he gets bad. It just has bad storms.
Yeah.
One Storm comes over there, pushed it back. Another Storm comes down, bruising even more Marines. A third one comes to make it harder for him to push forward.
Yeah,
and now he's just going to spill in over here. Let's see how the Widow Mines actually connect.
Good splitting right there. The Widow Mine's definitely not as effective as he would have liked. But the Marines coming in from behind, trying to take out these Immortals and Stalkers.
To be in the front here.
Yeah.
Problem is, though, is Terran's taking such a beating down here. It just doesn't even matter. There's just too much. This game's actually over. GG. Hack taps out, and it's going to be first going up against Maru for our final best of 3.
I quite like that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, wow. Really, really cool build. And now first does have that chance to keep moving on and keep those Terrans out of that round of 16. Terran, you know what, guys? Terran, I think it's just a round of 32 race anyways.
Hack looks really upset. And, he shouldn't be too upset because he did play really well today. I mean, realistically, he was not the favorite for the group, but he did not perform poorly either.
No, I think he played well, and we'll see if he can get back in next season.
Yeah. We're going to be going on to our final match now, first against Maru, to see who will be the last player to move on to the round of 16 for today. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in about